Welcome back YouTube, to UK. This is the NES box from hell. The one that was gifted to us very kindly by Boofy, Anthony. Although I filmed it, I didn't check the footage until I filmed it all. Now, apologies from the start. Some of it, for whatever reason, this fucking iPhone, even though I hold it in landscape mode, it decides to record it in portrait. I have no idea what's happened. It is what it is, unfortunately. You get the general gist of it, but I thought I'd better bookend the video, essentially, just explaining, obviously, what went wrong with some of the footage, which is a bit of a shame, really, because it didn't come out as well as I wanted. So, sorry, but I say the end result is still the same. So, I hope you enjoy. Maybe might encourage some of you to not throw out some of these boxes and just do a bit of a, have a bit of a tinker with them. There's nothing spectacular. I've not used anything that you can't go out and buy or find. You know, there's no funky equipment used here, so it's pretty much household items. Okay, see you at the end.
Alright, so I thought bring them outside. I ain't got much space not to do this in there anyway, not to show you it. Yeah, it's in pretty bad shape, guys, as we know. The actual inlay has come away. So I think what we need to do first is split down this seam here and get it opened. So let's give that a go. I'll do us off camera. Right, that's what we're left with. See all of this. See that should be laid across here. But what I'm thinking is, if you look at this inside, it's pretty grim. So let me split. That's what he started to split there. Let me split it up here, and I'll show you what the inside looks like, because obviously this isn't the inside. Yeah, so the window sides start blue. Yeah, as you can see, this is now the inside. So that's lined up to that. It's a little bit roached. Right there, so I don't know if it's worth maybe replacing this and re-sticking a new inside. I think there's obviously been real damage has got to it. So yeah, I don't know. See, this side here should be going on that side there. Not sure. Over the box, the actual box isn't that bad. You know, the outside of the box physically isn't that bad at all. Really isn't. But there's a few. That's not minor. None of these are ripped at all. They're just a little bit, because I think, see, that's what it's supposed to look like. Double thick card, which means that line on it, but it's not. It's not, because it's thinner. The corrugated cardboard. I wonder if that line better without that extra layer on it. I think. Yeah, you can see, look, see, that's what it's meant to look like. That's what it looks like. It's that to separate a bit as well. I was a bit dubious, but I'm a little bit more confident. It's whether or not I replace the lining. So I'm not sure if it'll clean up. too bad. Looks better out here actually. That's probably the worst side. But that's what go on there. So I think.
Okay, guys, so we're back in the room, and
Yeah, it was a bit too windy outside to be doing
any of this sort of stuff. So essentially, what we're going to do, I think, is a combination of soapy water, tea towels, kitchen rolls, whatever you want to call them, and some label remover. Now, hopefully you've seen it out from outside, but
the inside of the box is probably the worst.
I don't know if you can see the mould, and it has started to peel away. So I've got two choices. I can try and clean this up and see what it looks like, or I can take it off, and as you can see some cardboard at the back here. What I have managed to get from a delivery, but I also tested on a smaller piece. See, this is obviously just a bit of backing card, so it just peel away, and obviously that's the same waxy paper that's used here. So theory being, this was like the sort of, you know, the test bed. Maybe take the backing off this, the top of this, and apply it to that. If it doesn't clean up, see, this may clean up okay. I don't know. I haven't tried it. Obviously, you don't want to be wetting the corrugated cardboard, because I think that's where it will soak through. But the sort of the top waxy side is a little bit more water resistant. I wouldn't say it's water resistant, but you know, it will resist the water. It makes it water resistant, don't it? It won't absorb the water as easily as the corrugated cardboard side. That's my theory. That's my theory. Obviously, label remover is going to be for this side of all of the, you know, all of the sellotape down here that you can sort of see, and yeah, just basically give it a clean. Let's say my hand's getting too grubbed up, and maybe take this label off. I don't know about the boots one. We'll have to have a look at the boots label, see what it comes out like. But yeah, that's really it, guys. Obviously, it's too big to show on the desk, so I'll probably just do this off camera because it's just cleaning stuff. I think you all know. Hopefully, you all know to fucking clean stuff, you Neanderthal bastards. And using the label remover to take off some of the sellotape, and then we'll see what we can see from that point on. All right. See you in a bit. Right. I started with a paper towel. I mean, look at the state of that already. So you're going to go through fucking rolls of it. So you know what? Let's just go with the cloth. A little bit more abrasive, I suppose, but I think it might need it. And yeah, if it doesn't work, like I say, I'll default to plan B. And we'll try and strip some of that backing card off and reapply it. Right, give it initial wipe over. Done the other side as well. But just show you, yeah, I think that sticker's got to go. That's just with a bit of water, so we'll have to just remove that. But, like I said, outside, the actual outside of this isn't in bad condition at all. There's very few rips. You know, a bit in the corner here, which again, so it's all going a little bit, because it's been dampened down, so it's not as rigid, and a little rip there, but you know, other than that, there's a bit of stain in there, and there's a bit of stain in, where did I see a bit of stain in? Here. But I think if I can get the inside sorted, this might be salvageable. I must admit, when I first pulled it out of the box, it was like, no, this ain't going to happen, but I don't know. I'll show you the other side. I do have to be careful, because it is now a little bit wet and damp. Make sure everything's flat. You can still see it's drying a bit, but it's not come up too bad. He says, well, it still looks like it's full of mould and stuff, but you have to be really careful, because contrary to what I said about this paper being waxy, as soon as it gets wet, it does get really brittle. So you do have to be really, really careful with it. That's the actual lip. So this piece here
that needs to get stuck up to onto that side there, obviously, and that's the actual lip that you'd stick down, but that's way down the line. So I have to let this dry out. But I'm not saying looking confident, but I'm a lot more confident than I was when I pulled out the bag from Buffet, that's for sure. Okay, bit of an update. Look, some of the tape off now. I think that barcode is stuck on, so we can hopefully clean that up. But there's a little last bit of tape there, you can see it. Got all the tape off around the edge here. Got that sticker off from there, which is over there. So still got this bit up here to do. Tail end of there. Over there. But I've been quite lucky because the type of finish on this, and maybe the type of tape that was used in the past, or maybe it might be the tape's gone a bit brittle. It's kind of peeling up, but I don't really need to use any labour remover. Touch wood. I'll pat on my head. So yeah, been quite lucky. That's definitely going to have to come off. So we'll clean that up as well. But so far so good. Yeah, stay tuned. There's no point me showing you how to peel sticky tape off or remove sticky tape off, is there? You know, you'll have to spray a bit of labour remover and start peeling it back slowly. Right, I think we've got all the glue off. All the glue, all the sellotape. We've got to do gluing, there's a lot of gluing to be done. I think all the tapes, except here. There's no way of getting it off, so what I might do is cut around the tape to save that sticker. I'll see. There's no. I mean, even if I put labour remover onto that, it's going to take the sticker off because the sticker's just paper underneath. So that's a bit of a bugger. But yeah, it's lifting it off, so there's no point. But I think, again, the bottom bit's got to come off. But I'm pretty sure all the sellotape's off. So quite happy with that. It's come off really nice. Yeah. So let's get rid of that big sticker down there because that looks a bit of an eyesore. Not that the rest of it looks any better, but you know what I mean. Alright, you see this? That's not a shadow, that's the corner. So all I did just sprayed soapy water on it and it just literally just disintegrated. But that's the glue. See the glue underneath? So I'll try labour remover first. Sometimes I know this real stubborn glue, you have to use isopropanol to really sort of start to lift it, but we'll see. We'll see. You know, worst case we'll leave it, but it does look like there's a shadow cast across it. If we can get it off, we will. But yeah, the paper just peeled. Oh, we've got to do the barcode. Get that done as well while we're here. So yeah, we hit that with some labour remover on this. It didn't really make much difference. You can still see it there. I can sort of see it slightly start to break up, but it's not coarse enough. It's not harsh enough. I did leave some tape down here as well, so those eagle-eyed among you might have seen that, but I'm sure it's because of the way the light keeps reflecting. I think that's all the tape off now. But yeah, so we'll try some isoprop on this. Maybe try it on the label first. This little label down here. Got most of it off. The top plate, it's just a glue bit now. Just to show you, look. That's with the isoprop, and it just turns it into a gooey. It's all the top. You wouldn't believe it was there, would you? That's all it is. Let me just wipe it away. There you go. So we'll do the same with that. You'll see it change. So you can see the glue, look. Slightly tinged yellow glue. It's different to the label because obviously this is the glue within the glue. So this is what we're trying to lift off now. So I think that's about as good as we're going to get at the minute. I mean, we've gone through a shitload of cotton buds and wiped it. Did a combination of isoprop and label remover, backwards and forwards, trying to lift it off. There's still some there, but I'm going to leave it to dry because if you go too much, we may start lifting some of the print, which I don't want to do. But I think, you know, overall, obviously what you've got, you can see it a little bit here, the shadow, which is a lot less, but obviously that's been covered for like 35, 40 years. So this is the colour that this should have been. So obviously the label's been protecting it, which I think is quite interesting. But yeah, I think it's come all right. So at the minute, this is where we're at with the box. in terms of being cleaned up. So I've not scrubbed it or anything. I've just gone over it once, and you know, soapy water. Got rid of all the sellotape. So next, yeah, I'll cut around that. I'm gonna try and cut around. If I can't, I'll just have to take it off. But next, I think we might look to try and just glue some of this down, perhaps, or maybe flip it over and just try and clean the wax paper again. Just see if it comes up okay. Get rid of the, I mean, the thing is, it's on the inside anyway, but I don't want it stinking and stuff. God knows what I'm going to do with this box. I have no idea. It's just a challenge, so yeah, there we go. We're getting there, guys.
Okay, so I've removed the end piece that was stuck on the wrong end, basically. So this is the lip end. I don't know if you remember that, it's hanging off. So I've managed to remove it. And also on that sort of scrap bit of cardboard, I did manage to remove the backing. So what I've done, using this half decent end, I've made a little template, because as you can see on this side, it's chopped off. So I've got to reattach this. This needs to be reattached. Now, whether or not I can clean this up, I might get some anti-back wipes just to sort of see if we can try and clean it up. But I'm kind of leaning towards maybe just replacing the whole thing using the bigger bit of cardboard that I've got over there. I'm not sure. The only thing that concerns me is these little ridges here. You see where it's kind of like crimped. I've managed to crimp the card to fold, but I suppose it doesn't matter too much if they're not in there in the grand scheme of things. Like, but this is probably the worst end in terms of the mould and stuff, to be honest. So I think if I can replace this, it probably wouldn't be too bad. But yeah, I mean, you know, it does. It matches. It matches completely. So decisions. The disaster. It's not disaster. It looks like a disaster. But yeah, I've peeled the card off. So in theory, if this isn't good enough, I've got enough now to redo all that. Obviously that was my little tester, as you can sort of see. You know, I don't suppose it matters. Kind of like, sorry about the wonky camera angle. So sticking that onto there, you see. And do the strip there. So that's what I'll probably do. I'll leave that because I use that as a thingy, but I'll use this. Strip it off, so not with tape on, to create a strip across there and the end there, and stick it down, weigh it down, and then just see what it looks like. Because if it works out okay, then there's no reason why I couldn't just take all this off, because it'll get rid of all of these rips as well, you see. I mean, I've still got to repair the outside, but it'll be a lot tidier. Most of this is coming off anyway, look, so it wouldn't take much. There as well, so yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards, that's why I stripped it all from this bit of card. So I've still got the other side of that, but that's the theory anyway, guys. Right, Operation Rebuild. Plowing ahead. So I've redone both, like you can see that one's chewed up as well, so I've done both ends and I've done the middle piece. So what I'm going to do is take that and stick it across this ear flappage, and then depending on how that goes, the rest of it might get replaced. Maybe not this one, this middle panel not too bad. I mean, a bit of a tear there, we can stick that down. That's not but I think if that goes okay, then, you know, just slice it there and it all peels off anyway, and redo that bit. And what I'll do when I stick that down, I'm going to weigh it down with some old books and shit. That's the plan, man. Onwards. Alright. All I'm using is just some PVA. I know people, you said UVA. I ain't got any fucking UVA. And anyway, by the time the acid gets through to this, I'll be fucking long gone, so no one gives a shit. So that's a plan. Paint that. Nick some more fucking paintbrushes.
whack it on, then put some books on top, leave it overnight, come back, see how it is. Because hopefully what it might do, I might layer the glue quite thick, because what it might start doing is seeping through, and just because it looks like the laminate there's coming away as well, so hopefully it might reinforce it. That's the plan. It'll have a work or it won't. There, it's stuck on. So I'm going to get some books on top of that. I've got some plastic stuff off my mate Fob. These things that didn't work, so I'm going to use that to put it on, make a barrier. I mean, it's only PVA, so it shouldn't. Well, it will stick a little bit. Hopefully, it won't stick too much. Then we'll leave it overnight, and we'll come back and we'll see if it's a fucking disaster. All right, it's been 24 hours. I did put some of my magazines, my old paper, my old porno, my old pano mags on top of this to really weigh it down. So let's see. Oh yeah, use some protection on there as well. So hopefully they won't stick to it. Famous last words. Does it work? I don't know. I don't know if it's dried out properly. I've squished it. Maybe I've squished it too much. Maybe it needs air. Maybe I squished it too much. Yeah, I think I think I created an airtight seal. So we'll have to leave that again. Oh, there you go. So just weighing it down, which has worked. I mean, you can see the ridges putting into it now, but I think it needs to dry out. It's been 24 hours, which has been weighed down. So, eek. It's a learning curve. A couple of observations. So I've not done this before, so I don't know what I'm fucking doing. Don't know what I'm doing generally. But I think what needs to happen with this PVA glue is apply it, let it start to dry. I don't know at what point. Once it's dried to a certain degree, then apply the pressure. See, I applied the pressure straight away, and obviously it didn't allow the glue to evaporate, to dry out maybe. Squished the cardboard, but that's about it. Another thing that I've noticed, as good as my ability to cut paper isn't, I did miss a bit down here, look, you can see that. But what I think I'll do, if I do the next lot, is overlap this lining paper and then cut it afterwards, rather than trying to cut it to size from the off. Over cut it, if that makes sense, and then trim it afterwards. That might be a better course of action. But yeah, we'll give this a couple of hours, see what it looks like. Report back. Okay, update. 24 hours after removing all the weights and stuff, it's dried out. It doesn't look like it's dried out, but it has dried out. It's literally touch dry. You can tell it's starting to dry as well because it's curled up a little bit. See, not perfect, but a lot better than what we would have had, which is this mouldy old thing. So, and obviously it's ripped at that end as well, and obviously really torn there. So you're not going to see it. It's all inside as well. We've got to remember this, guys. It's all inside, so you're not really even going to see it. So yeah, I'm quite happy. I might, looking at this, it looks worse on camera. I can see it looks a lot worse in real life. It doesn't look too bad. I think it was that top bit there was making things look a lot worse. So with this other stuff, I may just look to glue this down now. I've got a little bit of remedial work to do here. You can just see where it's shot over, but over's better than short. Over there, not too bad on that one. Little tiny bit short here, but I don't think it's gonna, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's gonna matter too much. But yeah, it worked out okay. I think. Again, you know, give it an iron, give it a flat, and all that kind of jazz. So yeah, I think next stage is probably just to get these sections here glued down. There's a rip there, so maybe try and repair that rip first. You can see it's starting to delaminate from this side as well. I noticed it down here, which isn't great. It's just basically where this is coming away from that, even that card there. So see it bubbling a little bit. I'm not sure if an iron will sort that out, I don't know. But yeah, that's where we're at. So again, all internal. You're not really probably going to see this too much anyway, but looking somewhat promising. All right, quick update. I'll switch this around now. So that's the side that I sort of repaired. The top. This is the bit that I just glued earlier. I just put the books on it, nothing else, and that seems to have taken. It looks a lot worse on camera, I'm telling you. Not going to do anything with this middle bit. I glued that bit down there. You can still see the glue. Still, it'll take like 24 hours to properly go off, but it's not wet or damp. I only put one layer on. When I did that there, I glued the bottom and the paper, but with this one I just glued the bottom cardboard. So what I'll do again with this one, just where this is coming up now, I'll just glue the bottom bit here, you see. I won't put any glue onto this paper, and we'll just try and tidy this up a little bit. See, it might be, once I've glued it down, I might be able to clean it again. It might be a bit more amenable to cleaning. It's the inside anyway. So yeah, that's the plan. I mean, the worst it was down there, which again, I've tidied up, so that's the plan. Right, I think we're done. All been glued, re-glued. So yeah, again, look, see here, you can see the glue's dried and it's sort of curved up a little bit. It's a good sign. I did try some, I don't know, anti-mold or whatever, like spray stuff, but it just it doesn't work. It just started ripping the paper even more. So yeah, I'd say it looks a lot worse on camera than it does in real life. Obviously that's different paper, so I think it's just the texture and the colouring of that. It's just darker because it's that paper there. But again, it's all on the inside, guys. So yeah, it's solid, I suppose, is the best word to describe it. So now what we're left with is the outside, which for all intents and purposes doesn't look too bad. So you've got a bit of it where it's lifted. I think that's where it's just delaminating a little bit. I'm not sure if I ironed it, if it will make any difference, I don't know. There's a few bits I've got to touch up, but you know, grand scheme of things, and re-glue the end back to the new fixed end there. A few little edge bits that just need tidying up, but you know, I mean, compared to when it started life out like, a bit there again at the end, I think it looked half presentable. I've got to cut around that. Got to get the knife out. Maybe you can see it bowing now, look. So, not sure if we can iron that down. It might be a bit too big. Maybe just weigh it down with some books. Your magazines, your Pano magazines. Yeah, I couldn't save that sticker either, so that might just have to come off. But yeah, I think overall I'm quite happy with that. Try and fix that bit there. But yeah, see what we can see what we can do. So I've done a bit of gluing, a bit of sticking down, a bit here. There's a bit on the edges, just like little minor bits. A bit here, so I kind of try to form that back again a little bit. A bit there, same down there. A bit on the edges. It's where this is delaminating's a problem. So we'll get it as good as we can. There's a little bit over there I've got to do. So I'll crack on with that, and then we're sort of nearly there then. I'd say it's just this delaminating side. Some bits of it are worse than others. It looks like this end, this portion here, plugs into this portion. This is the bit. So then that sort of slots into that. I think that's where mainly most of the damage has occurred. Yeah, because it's not too bad up that end and stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, let's just stick it back together again. Right, gang, it's done.
it is a box. I mean, compared to, it's come out loads better than I thought it would. It really has. I mean, it's obviously, you know, still the same one. Look, I managed to cut round that. Not, you know, not switched it out. Yeah. So what you mainly saw through the lot of it was the inside, but you don't see that's the replacement side. It's not a difference, but again, you don't see the inside. So we glued the lip, so it's still kind of going off a little bit. You know, it takes like 24 hours to properly set anyway. But I think compared to what it was like, you know, we've got the sticker off on the front there. You can still see faint mark. Yeah, there's still some. You're not gonna get any. You're not gonna get this sort of stuff out. This is where the top was delaminating and stuff. But what it was like, that's not a bad box. It's, you know, it's sturdy. It's rigid. It's not falling to pieces. Yeah, well happy. And here we have it. I did do some footage of this at the end, but it didn't come out great. I think it's turned out all right. I really do. It's still got some issues, which it will always will have, and it is the same one you can see there. But you know, I think that's come out quite nice. I'll do a close up so we can have a look. I'll do it on the desk here, so we'll have a butcher's. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So we go, guys. Now you've still got all the dinks, but I think it's come out all right. It's square, it's sturdy, it's strong. Obviously, there's nothing in it, so it doesn't help with its form. I did read somewhere that what some people do, especially with the toys, they create another fake cardboard box to put in it to give it some structure. Managed to keep that sticker on there. So this is probably the worst bit, this edge. So what's talked about in the video. Well, I think that's where it's been sat or been exposed to most of the water. Here's the top. Again, you know, I mean, there's no fade into it. It's just where it's been exposed to the elements and it's just started to peel up and bubble, and you know, and that's where we glued. So that was the end that we glued. But, you know, I think if you didn't have a box and you had that on your shelf or whatever, you know, I think it'd do all right. And I'll just quickly show you inside. Again, you know, this was the main problem, but you don't really see inside when it's on the shelf. But that's the bit that we repaired. So, you know, I'll call that a win. It's, you know, it's dead sturdy. There's nothing wrong with it. So, winner. And it is a bit of a do-rupper. What's that? What they call it in the car industry? It's a do-rupper. It's fucked. But I reckon we could do something with that. I mean, it's definitely been water damaged. If only I had a fucking hot plate. I know, I might buy a George Formby grill. Right, should whack it in the fucking George Formby, see if that levels it out. Yeah, man. It's all come away. All come away. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we've got these fucking destructions in there, look. Oh my life, this is a fucking challenge. Challenge accepted.